Hey guys, it's Austin here with Righteous Warfare Tactical, coming at you with a short video going over the different types of actions in handguns. With North Carolina just having repealed the requirement for a pistol purchase permit, we're seeing a massive influx in first-time handgun ownership. So I want to give you a little tidbit over what you'll probably see in those glass cases, whatever gun store you go to, and kind of give you some pointers on how to prepare yourself for what somebody behind the counter might be trying to give you. So starting off, we'll start with the external hammer revolver. I couldn't even tell you what this one is. Really old pistol I got from my grandmother, but it's one of the few you can find now with an external hammer. So in terms of a revolver, you're usually going to get 6 to 5 shots. If you have 6 shots, it's an older pistol. Lucky you. One more than the modern day pistol. You've got your external hammer here. That is what's going to be dropping the firing pin onto your bullet to make it go bang. Most people probably aren't going to try to sell you an external hammer, but they're out there. Just for your knowledge, you have 2 types. You have single action and double action. Unfortunately, don't have a single action revolver here or single action pistol in general. Single action meaning you pull the trigger, nothing will happen unless you manually pull that hammer back. So basically what I've done now is made this pistol single action. Trigger does one effect, down. Little disclaimer, every firearm on the table is unloaded. I'd hate to get my channel taken down by YouTube day one. So in terms of single action, this pistol is a double action revolver, meaning that the trigger, you see the hammer beginning to move, works both functions, both cocking the hammer and dropping the hammer. So like I said, this pistol here can hold 6 rounds into the cylinder. Most people will preach this revolver to people every day because they don't jam. However, any pistol can malfunction. What you lose with a revolver is that mag capacity. So this here is a Smith & Wesson J-frame. Actually, this is a Ruger J-frame pistol. Modern day pistol, no external hammer. It's all internal here. They only hold 5 rounds now. Here it's lighter, much lighter than this pistol, but that trigger weight's very hard to pull. You'll see the cylinder start to rotate and bring that cartridge into action. And there. Once again, this technically acts as a double action revolver because everything here is inside. But I'll preach people all day. I'll say it, I'm not scared to say it. Revolvers are almost obsolete in the everyday carry environment. So here, like I said, you're losing that magazine capacity. It's also a smaller cartridge. This is 38 special, holding 5 rounds of that. Is it going to stop a bad guy? Absolutely. I wouldn't recommend this as your first shot. And don't let anybody behind a glass counter in any gun stores let it be your first shot. A lot of gun stores are going to try to push this on your first time female gun owners because they like to assume that a female's not going to be able to clear a malfunction in a semi-automatic pistol. Don't let them put you in a box, ladies. Don't let them do it. Moving on to the modern day polymer striker-fired handguns. We'll start top to bottom. This is a Glock 19 Gen 5. This is the Glock 19 frame is the most popular handgun in the world at the moment. Semi-automatic, there is no hammer. It's called striker-fired because the action is worked, trigger, everything's inside the slide here. All you gotta do is pull trigger, bang, action cycles, cock your hammer again, you keep going, bang with it until something happens. And I'll keep shouting out the ladies because I've seen it time and time again. A lot of salesmen behind that counter are gonna try to push something like this away from you because they don't think you're strong enough to actuate the slide and release it. Okay, it's a simple solution. Push, pull, push with your hand, pull with your slide, and release. So the Glock 19 is very popular because of its size compared to other handguns. Easy to conceal inside the waistband, outside the waistband, under a hoodie, t-shirt, no matter how big you are. So these are all considered striker fired. Moving on to the HKVP9. Probably one of the most, it's definitely the most expensive one on the table. Dad behind the camera will laugh at that. Thanks for buying that for my birthday, Dad. Love you. Once again, we're looking at striker fire. I'm showing this to you mainly because it's just a little bit larger than the Glock 19. Higher price point, you get what you get with your price. I'll outshoot my dad with my VP9 all day with a Glock 19. Oh well. You're looking at 4.09 inch barrel. We'll get into ballistics in another video, but all it really comes down to is size, preference, and a little bit of a difference here in terms of how you drop a magazine. Going back to Glock, this is Glock 19X. I think it's called the, what's the all black version, Dad? 48, something like that. They Glock numbers their guns. It's weird. It gets confusing, especially when they're all mixed matching parts. This gun is a 17 frame with a 19 slide, meaning that it has the short length of the slide of the 19, but the longer grip of a Glock 17, meaning that you guys with bigger hands, ladies with bigger hands, however you want to roll, much more firm of a grip on that frame, meaning that maybe a little more accurate shots. You can get out of your holster faster, whatever it may be, whatever floats your boat. This one's a little bit more expensive than the Glock 19, but once again, it's your size preference when it comes down to Glock. These three weapons are chambered in 9mm, which is the most popular round in terms of self-defense for everyday carry. In my opinion, it's the best round. Don't let any 1911 snob throw you that America's round and God's caliber of 45. Bring these back in. 9mm gives you that magazine capacity that you lose. The 19X, you're looking at 17 and 1, meaning that there's 17 in this magazine and 1 in the chamber, meaning you get 18 rounds to defend yourself with before having to reload. My VP9, Agent K got smart. It was issued with 15 round magazines. I had to buy the 17 because they didn't do that till after they produced it. So once again, 17 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, 18 rounds before you have to reload. Glock 19, 15 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, 16 rounds before you have to reload. Bringing it back to my statement that revolvers are obsolete. You've got 6 to 5 rounds. If you're buying a revolver made after 2007, it is going to be chambered. It's only going to have 5 rounds in that cylinder. Your accuracy with this is next to none. He better be real close to you to go bang. This, 3 yards, 5 yards, 10 yards, however far, you're going to be able to put accurate shots on target. Now, once again, all this comes down to training. A salesman is going to push the gun and the product on the customer, but they're never going to tell you that it only comes down to how hard you train. Go to any gun store, feel everything, ask questions, listen, do your research, read, watch YouTube videos. Don't worry about the money. Your budget is your budget. There's a handgun in any category for what you need. Everybody has the right to defend themselves, and there's no price on your life. Once again, that's just my quick little tidbit on getting out there, purchasing your first firearm. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.